Where do you stick incoming paper until it's time to actually do something about it? You want it to be out of sight, out of mind, but still know that it's safe and you will see it again the exact day that you need it. What you need is a time machine. Let's talk. For me, it's the mail. There's letters that I need to act on, but not for a few days. There's coupons that I don't need until the next time I go shopping. There's flyers that I want to follow up on and look into at some point, but not right now. And then there are the things that I do myself. For example, I buy greeting cards up to 3 months in advance. Check out this video. I need someplace safe I can put those until it's time for me to actually sign them and send them out. Now, I've tried just a simple tray on the corner of my desk for waiting items. It's fine for one or two things, but it doesn't scale well. Once you start building up, it quickly collapses under its own weight and you can't find anything that's in there. So I built myself a time machine. It's one of the funnest tools that I have in my productivity toolbox. Now, it does have some limitations. You can only send things forward, you can't go back, and they've got to be kind of small. But I do think of it like a time machine. It's a way to set something aside until the exact day that I need it. Let's take a look. What papers do you need to keep track of for later? Let me know in the comments. This is the rolling file cabinet that is normally sitting right there next to my desk. It's easily accessible while I work, but it wasn't that easy to film with it over there. So just for now, I've got it pulled over here onto the desk so that I can show you how it's set up. That also gave us a chance to sweep over there behind it for the first time in 4 years. That was kind of interesting. Here it is. If you know what GTD is, then it's a 43 folder system. You might recognize it. There's one folder for each of the 12 months of the year and one for each of the 31 days in a month. At the beginning, there are a couple things that are not part of the time machine. The first file is just someplace where I can drop tax documents as they come in. I scan them, tuck them in here. I've got everything together for tax time. And then the rest of it is stuff for mailing things, mailing stamps and return address labels. I'm into this all the time, and so it's handy to have this right here. But that's not part of the time machine, so let's just pull those out, set them aside, and we'll talk about the time machine. So the front folder here is always tomorrow, the way that I do it. I've already processed today's folder, and I've taken everything out what I need. So tomorrow, what this is going to look like, or actually tonight, when I plan for tomorrow, I'm going to open this up. I'm going to see, oh, here are some birthday cards that I need to sign tomorrow. So I'll set those aside. I'll set them on the corner of my desk, and then I'll get them signed tomorrow. But for now, they go back in there. How do you file things in here? Let's start with that. How do you file things? Okay. Here's a birthday card that I need to sign in October. So I'm going to flip forward to October and I'll drop it in there. Here's my annual reward certificate from Costco. I will use this when I go shopping at Costco next Saturday. So I'll flip forward to next Saturday. I'll drop it in. This works great for paper, you're saying, but what about something that's bigger than what fits in a hanging file folder, or something that is just awkward, so you don't want to leave in here? Every 6 months, we take our rings in, we have them cleaned. And the way that we do that is we stick in just a little reminder to inspect the wedding rings. So when I get to that month, I pull out the card and it's a reminder. So I'll ask my wife which one of us is going to take care of this. We'll sort that out. And if it's her, I hand this to her. That is her reminder that she needs to take care of this. When she hands this back to me. That's the signal that it's done, it's taken care of. And then I can go in and I can go 6 months out and drop it in there. And it'll be ready for the next inspection. So now you've got stuff in your time machine. How do you actually use it? At the front, this is always tomorrow, the way that I do it. Either tonight or tomorrow morning, when I plan for the day, I will come in here and I'll see, oh, here are some birthday cards that I need to sign today. I'll set those aside to be signed. Then I'll take this folder and I'll drop it back after all of the days in next month. Notice that at the very beginning here, there are just a few more of the daily files. We're getting towards the end of the month. Then there is the folder for next month. Then these daily files are in next month. Then we have the rest of the months this year, and then it wraps around to January and continues on. So each day I'll go through one of these folders and it gets moved to the back. So let's jump forward a few days, and let's say we've gotten to the end of the month. We get to the new month. Now we do a monthly rotation. We pull this folder out and we can see all the things that have been set aside for some time in September. And then the genius is when you put them in, take a little Post-it note and write on it the day that you want to actually take care of it. So I put it in the September folder, but I've already made the decision of what day I want to act on it. So that makes it very quick. I can take these, I can just drop them into the corresponding day folders. It goes very quickly, less than a minute, and I'm set up for the month. Then this folder goes back to the end of, goes back to the back of the file, and it's ready to start collecting things for September of next year. Now, most of the time when the monthly folder goes to the back, it's going to be empty. The exception is if I'm tracking something that needs to go multiple years out. I have to do that occasionally. One option would be to have a folder for next year, the year after that, the year after the year after that. You can make it as arbitrarily complicated as you want, but there's no need. All I do is the date that I write down on the Post-it note, I just make it clear what year that's for. Then when I get to do the monthly rotation, I pull it out, I see that's not for this year, I leave it in the folder and it'll be there next year when I check. So that's the way you handle that. So to set this up, you don't need much. You need space to hang the you need space to hang the files, obviously. You need 43 folders. You need a stack of Post-it notes. Okay, you need some Post-it notes, and that's really it. It should be someplace accessible that you can get to it, and otherwise out of the way, so that you're not going to be constantly looking at it and the clutter can be contained. Now, yes, I could have just called this a 43 folder system and be done with it, but come on, I'm a sci-fi nerd. Time machine. It lets me set something aside until some future date when future Coulter can get that piece of paper back and actually act on it. Until then, I don't have to see it. I don't have to think about it. It's in the time machine. It's in my trusted system. It's where it's supposed to be. I don't have to see it or think about it until then. Remember, the most important resource you need to perform a task is time. So the most important decision you can make about a task is when you're going to do it. And a time machine supports you in doing that. You set a task aside, and it'll come back to you exactly when you intended to do it. Thanks for watching. I'm Coulter Reed. I'm here to help you get the day-to-day out of the way so you can stop chasing the dream and start living the dream. If you want to know more, subscribe and ring the bell so that you get notified whenever new video is available. If you thought this video was helpful, why don't you give it a thumbs up? That'll help other people discover it. Before you leave, why don't you check out this video? YouTube thinks you'll enjoy it. Or find one thing nearby that you can put back in its proper place. Stay sharp. I'll see you in the next video.